There's a little company called Tesla, and they've got a little stock called TSLA, and they've got a little following called Ginormous. And if you're going to talk about big followings and big things like that, you got to talk to a gentleman like Randy Kirk, because this is Monday morning, we're recording this. The stock is up for some reason. Could be anything. Who knows? Probably nothing. Let's have a chat about that, figure out what's going on in the market, and figure out what's going to happen this week with the shareholder meeting. I'm Brian. Welcome to Future Asa. Good morning, Randy Kirk.
Hello, and how are thou?
I am fine. I am stressed out. I have less than 24 hours until I leave for Austin to attend the shareholder meeting as a +1. And I will be, of course, at the after party at the Austin show. I'll pull up the Austin Club is putting one of those on. I will bring that up later in the show. Stock market is up today. Tesla stock doing okay. I will show that as well. What is going on here with this? I'd like to know.
Well, okay. So you're asking somebody whose most recent call on Tesla fell flat. I had some very, very good calls in the past, but this time I said that we would go up to all-time high right after June 22nd and the rollout of the robotaxi. I didn't anticipate, and what nobody anticipated, was that it wouldn't really be a robotaxi service. It would be 11 cars with safety riders in them. And so the street and the investing public and the ones that are trying to figure out when the FOMO starts decided, oh, that wasn't it. So we've been hanging out. We've been kind of moving up with each new announcement about what robotaxi's doing, and everything's been doing great. So then I said, look, we'll be at all-time high or 500, even higher than all-time high, 3 days after the meeting coming this Thursday. Well, what I didn't know was going to happen to help me out here was that the betting markets looked at what was happening over the weekend, and they went, oh, it looks like Elon's package is absolutely going to pay. And they went from about 87% certainty to 95% certainty. So what I believe happened there is that took the lid off. That said, we don't have to worry about that anymore. Now we can concentrate on what's going to happen with robotaxi, and we think it's going to be amazing. And so here we are, up 16, 18, whatever points it was. Yeah.
So here's the poly market, 94% chance of passage.
Yep.
Doing pretty well, had gotten up a bit higher before, but not much. I saw a big Tesla Q Fudster yesterday saying, I've got a model that I built that I have, frankly, p-hacked to determine that it definitely won't pass, and y'all are suckers. And also all of the board's recommendations won't pass. That's crazy talk. You mentioned to me in a show on your channel that some of the big institutional investors have come out and said they are in support. Can you tell me more about that?
The state of Florida came out this morning, I believe. It could have been last night, but I didn't see it till this morning. State of Florida said they were going to vote in favor. We've got BlackRock, which told Robin Denham, they told her that they had a fiduciary responsibility to their stockholders. They were absolutely going to be voting yes. So those are two big ones. You know, we know Ron Barron obviously is going to vote yes. We know ARK Invest is going to vote yes. We know that Elon and his brother are going to vote yes. I mean, so you wrap just those guys together, throw in a sprinkling of retail, and you're probably darn near your 50% right there. And then since it'll be 90% retail, the 90% of the retail investors, which is 40% of the outstanding stock, or maybe a little higher. 90% of 40 is 36% last time I checked.
Right.
36% plus Elon at 12, that's 48. His brother at a couple, that's 50.
Yeah. It's a done deal as far as I'm concerned. It's saying that I have a model that proves it won't pass is the sort of thing someone with a brand new head might say. I don't understand that. So why is the stock ripping today? I mean, surely this passage was priced in by now. And it's not a done deal. It will be on Thursday. Uh, I think we could call it a done deal by now. Retail has already cast their votes, almost all of them that will. Institutional will not cast their votes until the day of. That's how they always do it, but their minds are made up. Uh, why would why would this matter today? And is this bump just the first of many? I mean, if we're going to 2x, 4x, 8x the stock, uh, is this too low? I mean, how far out ahead of our skis do we want to get?
So the reason I said I thought we'd be at all-time highs is because twice before in our history, we've hit all-time highs based on the fact that robotaxi was just about to happen. So
Hmm.
I logically to me that said, okay, if robotaxi's just about to start, then that would get us back to at least all-time highs and probably higher because now the certainty is getting greater and greater and greater. Over the weekend, Elon came out. He was on a couple of shows. Was that Friday, maybe? He was on a couple of podcasts. And on those podcasts, one of those podcasts, he said, we will have 500 vehicles without safety drivers in Austin and 1,000 in the Bay Area without safety riders by the end of the year. Well,
This year, Randy,
this year,
this year.
yes. So 1,500 would be about the same number that Waymo has out there. And if you do the math, that would add a decent amount of revenue and earnings, not huge, couple of 100 million or something so, to the earnings. And so I think people saw that. And then, but they were still, the lid was still on. I'm looking at it as a lid being on, an overhang of Elon's package that was hurting us. And yeah,
Mm.
you can leave alone the package jokes. We
Hmm.
did my show, so I don't know if
Hmm.
you.
I
Anyway,
have no idea what you're talking about.
so, so I think that came off at the same time that the other went on, and then we had this other thing. We had this thing where Tesla is buying $2 billion worth of batteries from Samsung. So they're adding Samsung in a major way to their plans for the future, and many of us have been asking the question, how come we're not opening more factories to make megapacks? How come, or do we have enough batteries to even solve Houston when that opens up? There was all these questions about that, and we didn't know what the answer was. Well, I think we just got our answer, and I think that might have been like the, what do you call it, the momentary catalyst that was necessary to get it going, and then it just went from there.
It is all true. All of this is true. Uh, it's fun to point out that Tesla buys batteries from all kinds of people. I'm going to share this tab to show a little bit here. I'm going to name some companies off this chart, and okay, doke, that's the wrong one.
Not that chart.
And you tell me, CATL, do they buy from them?
They do.
BYD, do they buy from them?
They do.
Panasonic,
Lots.
LG,
Believe so.
yes, they do. And also, they announced a $2 billion partnership in the US for stationary LFPs and Samsung. So, of the top players, SK is the only one, and CALB, CALB, I don't know who that is. Almost all of the biggest players are companies that Tesla is already working with,
Right.
or has announced plans to work with on batteries. Elon said a few years back, battery makers, look, we are going to make our own batteries, but we're not in competition with you. We'd love to be on that list as well. Maybe we will be. Maybe we'll be at the top of that list, but we'll still need more.
Right.
If you make a quality battery, we'll buy it.
So to
Yes.
your other questions, to your other question, which is what's going to happen next. So I'm believing that we will stay at this 500 level. It might last for a few days, but there's going to be a day when those safety riders come out in Austin. That'll be kind of like lifting the thing off of Elon's pay package. It'll be another lifting. They'll be okay. Now it's done. Now it might take a few days of not having safety riders and not having accidents before, but I think we'll start inching up towards 550, 600 if we really get what Elon said. So there's three things we need by the end of the year: the 500 in Austin, the 1,000 in San Francisco area, and unsupervised, at least in those two regions, preferably more. then I believe we'll be at 750 or more by the end of the year. And here's the kicker.
Kick me, Randy.
Depending on what the reveal is on Optimus on Thursday, if it's a significant game-changing reveal, then we could go to 1,000 by the end of the year. I don't think it will be, but we still have another month or so where there could be a bigger reveal. But until we get that reveal, until we see something that shows that Optimus is like uncanny, amazing, I think we'll be stuck around 750, 800 range.
Okay, I'm going to mention real quick, if you're into excitement, this is what's going on. The after party, Tesla Owners Club is putting on the Shareholder at the Boring Bodega in Bastrop. That's only about 15 minutes from Giga, Texas. Join fellow shareholders, owners, and visionaries, I assume that's me, for a night of innovation, music, and electric energy. You do have to RSVP, so please do that. If you wish to go, I'll be there. Herbert will be there. Alexandra, Jeff, many of us will be there. And if you don't have a ticket, just go there early. I imagine they'll have it up on the big screen. That seems like something they would do. I'd be very surprised if they didn't. Quick pushback. You said what we'd see in the unveil of Optimus on Thursday. Has Tesla ever shown a new product at a shareholder meeting?
Well, didn't they show the Optimus every time at a shareholder? Didn't they show the first time as when it was still a human in a costume at the shareholder meeting?
Nope, that was a whole separate AI Day announcement.
AI Day, okay. So, they said that they're going to have originally they said they're going to have a chorus line of Optimi at the shareholder meeting. And then over the weekend again, Elon said there would be a demo. Well, he didn't say, I have to be really careful here.
Yes.
Said we are working on the software nonstop to prepare the demo of Optimus. Mm-hmm. And given that the shareholder meeting's on Thursday and he mentions demo, I mean, yeah, sure, it could be a demo he's going to do a week from Thursday. I don't know, but it just seemed to all kind of, make sense.
So stick around, guys. We're not done yet. We are going to be talking about a clever strategy on how to grow to infinite numbers on the stock market, thanks to a theory James Stevenson came up with a year ago. I did want to mention real quick that subscribers are bleeding off because of YouTube's bot purge. Pretty please subscribe, please, and thank you with sugar and a cherry on top. It means the world. It is very frustrating. On the robo-taxis rolling out by the end of the year, you said all of the revenue that comes with it. Worth asking. You don't mean the revenue will show up in Q4. You mean the revenue can be assumed thereafter.
There will be revenue in Q4. It may not even be separated out.
Right.
But as we get up, I would say probably more on the order of 10, 25,000. They'll have to separate it out because it'll be significant numbers.
Mm-hmm. All fair. So here's what James Stevenson came up with. It's crazy. I think you'll love it. But I've been wrong about you before, Randy Kirk. What James said is when the stock hits 420, do a 19 for 20 split. Drops the value 5%. People push it back to 420. 19 for 20.
I see.
20 for 19. So, just bumps it by 5%. Everyone keeps pushing to 420.
We'll all get rich.
We'll all get rich. What could go wrong? Are you concerned about the PE ratio at all?
No, not even remotely. So I don't know how famously I have this particular call on Tesla, but I'm calling $2,000 by the end of 2026. Again, it's dependent. That would be 100,000 at least, not the million that Elon's asking for. If we get to 1 million, we could be over 2,000. But if we get 100,000 of that million, which is a power of 10 less, then I think, and we are selling Optimi to third parties or renting them, leasing them, whatever, preferably leasing them for at least $100,000 a year. If those two things happen, I think we can get to $2,000 a share by the end of the year. Now that is double what a very famous stock guesser, stock trader by the name of I'm glad you have an editor. What's Dan Ives. So that's what a very famous stock analyst, Dan Ives, that's double what he's saying, but he's actually saying that he thinks it'll be 1,000 by the end of the next year. And I don't think he's got anything in there for Optimus. And so I would say if we don't have Optimus, probably less than 1,500, maybe the 1,250 range. You throw in, as soon as Optimus is actually for sale and out there, and we know what the price is, the cost, etc., I think we go to 2,000.
Well, who would lease an Optimus or even want one when X1 really is super serious that they can get you a robot for $500 a month that takes 2 minutes to poorly fold laundry via remote control? I mean, that's clearly going to be the winner. I've seen people on X who I normally respect saying, boy, this is trouble for Tesla. Is it? Is it? Well, yeah, if 1 million people buy this, where would they get 1 million bots of production? Come on, people, think it through, I say, with passion and vigor.
My greatest hope that is not resolved yet for this day going forward is that Elon is going to do whatever he does with Robotaxi, whatever he does with Optimus at market, not at some price that's supposed to get lots of units or something. I want him to be at market. Sell it for what it's worth at that time. Do an auction if you have to. But there is no way, if I was still back in manufacturing, I would happily pay $100,000 for somebody to do 4 shifts without breaks, without hiring, without firing, without motivating, without bad breaks, without not showing up. $100,000 for 4 shifts. I'm in.
You say that, but then I tour your factory and I see you keep putting gold stars on your favorite Optimuses. I don't know, Randy. I'm struggling to believe you now. You got a pizza party and there's just stacks of uneaten pizza. These guys are ungrateful. Guys, in the comments, what did we miss? What do we misunderstand? Leave it, I beg of you. And if you're coming to Austin, let's connect and I'll see you there. Everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy. I cannot wait to hear from you. Clever robots. Yeah, in Austin.